Anything that is as incredibly detailed and sophisticated as the Bible calls for as much care in assessing and approaching the material with integrity. It is the lack of such integrity, as exhibited by many individuals and groups, that dilutes and alters the Bible's messaging, which is often taken in all manner of directions through a careless and often deceptive jumble of facts that, being mismanaged, do not factually represent the truth. So instead of God being represented truthfully on account of his own character development through progressive revelation, he is reduced to the suggestive and presumptive thoughts of people's creative imaginations and internalized convictions. There is really no limit as to how far these distortions go in twisting the truth, making room for every conceivable work of deception that parades the knowledge of God around like circus acts. He's moving here, he's moving there, he's talking to this person, he's talking to that person, he's revealing himself to this one, he's showing himself to that one, he's healing this one, he's delivering that one, all on account of misconstrued beliefs referencing factually based scripture while failing to accept the complete scope and conclusive expectations of doctrinal truth. It becomes the plight of those who are unsound in doctrine to grapple with and stumble at truth when approaching a God who cannot be seen, while resorting to mental depictions of what he appears to be. And so in order for people to make up for a certain ineptitude in their engagement with the source material, they conceive of God through co-opted imagery, relying upon their own impressions and interpretations of biblical ideas to foster understanding. And they wrap biblical truths concerning God up in convenient summarizations, resulting in such notions as God is everything, God is everywhere, God is the universe, God is the cosmos, God can use anyone, God speaks through anything, God is communicating through our intuition or perception, God is moving through our sensitivity and intention, God is like a fire burning in our soul for greater experiences. And many people believe that all that has to be done to affirm and validate such ideas is to find enough quote-worthy scriptures that align with such thinking. Forget the fact that scripture is an established cornerstone of faith that needs no subjective conceptualizing of ideas to express or convey its truth. It is never saying what we intend to say. It is always saying what it has intended to say, which must be understood within the framework that has been given, not offhanded notions superfluously presumed. God as a divine person and as an active presence is not an entity of imprecise reasoning, artificial suggesting, incommunicable purpose, or mystical service. His nature and character are not subjects of whim and spectacle, flying about on the seat of chance encounters and experiences without definitive meaning and intent. As the judge of the entire human race, God has not left unclear guidelines regarding what every soul will be held accountable for and the grounds of purpose that every life will be judged on. It should be very clear in this regard that God is not anyone's genie for hire, tool for extraction, weapon of personal grievance, or means of self-achievement, which would make him an object of idolatrous form and craft, perpetuating a conflicting narrative that distorts foundational truth. It is expected that we as beings of measurable intelligence approach God on the basis of the intelligence that he presents. And what that ultimately means is that not everyone's thoughts matter. Not everyone's experiences hold valid meaning. Not everyone's words carry actual substance. And not everyone's performance aligns with divine purpose. God has designed the matters of truth and righteousness in such a way that if the source of one's convictions are not truly rooted in it, the byproduct will be the workings of self-righteous deception that foolishly departs from his inspiration. God's presentation of himself and communication of his purposes leaves nothing to obscurity or imperceptibility. But when left up to those who charge ahead on views and opinions rather than simply acknowledging their own insufficiency and inadequacy in matters of truth, they are caught in the trap of their own pride, which God Himself resists.